Hi everybody. So today I wanted to talk to you about the importance of being able to say no. This sounds really simple, somebody says, do you want to do something? You don't want to do it, you say no. But in reality, I think a lot of people have problems saying no, especially when you have a chronic illness like we do. That feeling of letting people down is very ingrained, and you just don't want to let people down. So saying no is very, very hard. I know I find it very hard to say no. But saying no is an essential part of managing CFS-ME. I'll give you an example. Just yesterday, my husband took me out for a wonderful afternoon. We went to a wonderful place and they had a bird zoo there. And I love going anywhere that's anywhere to do with animals, and I haven't done it for a very long time. So I had an absolutely wonderful couple of hours just looking at wonderful birds. I was so close to an emperor penguin. Like, I could have touched it. I didn't, because that would have been bad, but so close. Afterwards we pottered around, looked at some of the shops that were in the area, and then got back in the car to come home. And on the way home, my husband says to me, oh, shall we go to this other place, which was more or less on the way home. We were going past it. And initially I said, yeah, okay. But I then spent a little while thinking to myself, how am I going to do this? Because I was truly exhausted by that point. I was in so much pain. But I'd said, yeah, okay, because I didn't want to disappoint my husband. And I ended up saying to him, actually, do you know what? I don't think I can. Can we just go home? And I felt awful saying that. I felt like I was ruining his day. I probably wasn't, but that's how I felt. And that's just a small thing that I felt bad about. So saying, do you know what, I'm not really up to that. Just let's go home. We'd already had a wonderful time. There was no reason for me to feel that bad about it, but I did. So when it comes to saying no to bigger things, saying no to them is really, really hard. But you have to learn to do it, to take care of you. Even if it's something you really want to do, you have to really look deep and think to yourself, am I going to enjoy this while I'm doing it? Is it absolutely necessary for me to do it? What is going to be the consequence of me doing this thing? I have great difficulties not being able to do stuff that I want to be able to do. My sister has a ton of kids. I won't go into how many she's got. I want to be able to get a load of them, take them out for the day, have a really good time, give her a break. But I know I can't do it. If I take one of them out on their own for a couple of hours, it wipes me out for the whole weekend. And not being able to give my sister that support absolutely breaks my heart. I feel awful for it. My mum lives just around the corner, and I hardly see her because I don't have the energy to spare a lot of the time to go and visit, make conversation, the general things you do when you visit somebody. I don't have that energy to do that. And that makes me feel like an awful daughter. I spend very little time, quality time, with my husband because of this illness. And that, again, breaks my heart. He does so much for me. And I can't even do a little thing such as extend our trip out to go and visit one other place. You have to try to balance out the guilt with what is necessary. You can push and push and push and push, but you will crash. And the harder you push, the harder you crash. And when you crash, you can't do anything. So, what is better? Pushing yourself to that point, or learning that there are times when you will say no, and being able to go a little bit longer. And it's a hard decision to make. It's a really hard decision to make. I start off small. I do. It took me a long time to start saying to people, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I haven't got the energy. Or if I do that, I know it's going to cause me to suffer later on, so I can't. And I found that for the most part, everybody is really supportive. They understand. If we go to friends, for example, if there's a party, my friends understand that I don't join in that much. I sit there, I listen, I chill out, but I don't really engage that much because to do so would be too tiring for me. My sister is so understanding that I can't do stuff. She has fibromyalgia, so she's in a similar situation to me. She understands that I find conversation exhausting, so for the most part we communicate by text. And her support means a great deal to me. My husband deals with so much disappointment and frustration because of the way I am. But he still gives me every ounce of support he can physically give. I don't carry anything heavy. Well, I don't. 9 times out of 10 I don't carry anything. He does the majority of the housework. We have a cleaner that comes in and does the cleaning, but he'll do the tidying up. He sorts out the dishwasher. He walks the dog. He does everything he possibly can to allow me the energy to do other things. So saying no is a scary thing, But I think once you've gotten past that first no, you learn it's not as bad as you think. You also learn when it's appropriate and when it's not. I always follow up no with an explanation. I don't just say no. I'm always polite with it, and there is always a reason behind it. And I think if you learn to say no in this way, your friends and family are fine. They really are. So learn how to say it. That's my advice today.